Okay, in this video we're going to look at positive integer indices, so the three basic rules of indices that we start with. So simplify the following. We've got a squared times a cubed, a to the 5 divided by a squared, and then we've got a squared all cubed. So let's see, a squared times a cubed. A squared is a times a. First thing we should note as well, we have the same base, i.e. a is the same in both things. So we've got a times a for a squared, and then a times a times a for a cubed. And we can see here we just have a to the 5. Now, can we come up with a rule if we just know the powers? Well, you might have noticed that a squared times a cubed is the same as doing a to the 2 plus 5, i.e. we have added the powers. 2 plus 3 makes 5. So the general rule is a to the m times a to the n. You must add the powers together. A to the m plus n. Notice the base must be the same. This is what we're trying to say here. For a division, we've got a to the 5 divided by a squared. Well, better to write it as a fraction. So a to the 5 over a squared. A to the 5 is a times a times a times a divided by a times a squared. And then we could do a bit of cancelling, and we just see that we're left with a cubed in the numerator. Note, we could have done this by doing a to the 5 divided by a squared, which is equal to a to the 5 take away 2. Subtract the indices when we're dividing, same power. Well, sorry, same base. So we've got a to the 5 take away 2, which is a cubed. So the general rule is a to the m divided by a to the n is a to the m divided by a to the n. It's better always to write it as a fraction, which is the same as a to the m minus n. So what you do is you subtract the powers. So if you are multiplying, you add the powers. If you are if you are dividing, you subtract the powers. Now in the final case, we've got a squared cubed. So that means a squared cubed times itself again and times itself again. A squared is a times a. So we've got a times a times a times a. We can see that's a to the 6. Can we think of a quicker way of doing it? Well, we might have noticed this. A squared cubed is the same as doing a to the 2 times 3, which makes a to the 6. So the general rule is a to the m to the n. So a to the m in brackets n times is going to be a to the m n. You multiply the powers together. Note also this rule is quite useful. ab to the power of n is the same as a to the n times a to the n. This rule is quite useful, but it's never really taught. But it is very, very useful. Okay, so this has been a video to show you how to introduce the rules of indices. I hope you've understood, and I thank you very much for watching.